This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place. Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate, and with me is a guy who thinks there should be an advent calendar for all 12 months. Brandon.
Yeah, I deserve all the treats, Nate. All the treats, all the time.
Every day you deserve a treat, right?
Yeah. It's my little thank you to myself.
And it's fun just to count down to something.
Even if you're counting down from 365 down to 0.
Or just down to your birthday, which you just had.
I did just have a birthday. I'm officially an old man.
How do you celebrate Thanksgiving and your birthday in the same day? Does
To be honest,
thanks for Brandon?
I really don't. Every time it comes around, people say, "Oh, it's still gonna be your birthday and Thanksgiving," but it was around the end of the night when everybody in my family started saying, "Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. We better sing to you." Like, it's
really?
Yeah. I mean, my extended family. Of course, my parents, they were aware, but everybody else had to be gathered at the end because they didn't realize it was my birthday and they had to sing to me, which I wasn't expecting it, but
And at least you get your birthday off.
that's true. And it does bode well for me. I mean, of course, I always get it off with Thanksgiving with my current job, but usually I could finagle getting some time off around Thanksgiving, be like, "Oh, it's my birthday, so like, come on, let me take the time off."
Did you do a turkey bowl this year?
I didn't do any turkey bowl. No.
Neither did I. Like, I didn't want to press it at all. Actually, I guess we were invited to one, right?
Yeah.
Our basketball group was going to do one with all their kids, but it was just so doggone cold. I didn't want to press it or ask anybody to join one. So I went to Club Pickleball USA and played pickleball for 3 hours in the morning.
That's what I was going to ask. You did play pickleball though, right?
Yeah, so that might be the new tradition moving forward. Pickleball.
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 The turkey ball.
Turkey ball. The cheese ball bowl.
Well, how about we have a guest today, and I'm curious how did his Thanksgiving go? We're joined today by Josh Hansen.
Yeah. I being the host of the Party in the Back podcast, which is a running podcast, my Thanksgiving, at least the first half of it, was spent out on a turkey trot. So I braved that cold and horrible windy cold weather, did myself a nice little 10K and regretted every minute of it.
Where was it?
Thanksgiving Point, actually, just over in Lehigh. So the Thankful 13 race that local Utah company does, Runtastic Events, one of my favorite races. So, but it's too cold to go outside to run. I probably should have moved to southern Utah by now. I just don't do well in anything cold.
Yes, I have really no use for the cold or the snow anymore. I don't really ski much anymore, and there's just no use for it.
Well, and the thing is I feel like I love this. I love Utah. I love this state. But sometimes I do feel like I am the worst Utahn ever because I've never gone skiing. I've never been to Lake Powell. I've only been to one of the 5 national parks. I don't know. Being a big guy, I guess skiing just never really appealed to me, whether it was on the snow or on the water. Because when you're a big guy and you're being supported by these 2 thin things and sticks or whatever, like that's just a recipe for disaster. So I have a lot of making up to do as far as getting to know Utah, but I absolutely love it. I mean, everywhere I've been so far in Utah, I just absolutely love. So,
did you grow up here, or where'd you grow up?
Grew up here, Davis County, grew up, born and raised in Bountiful, Utah, and went to Southern Utah University for my undergraduate. Moved to Cedar City thinking that I was going to get the sun and the warmth, and that is the biggest lie whatsoever. Cedar City is probably just as cold as Utah State, as Logan.
Really?
So, oh, it was my first winter there. I just like, this was not on the brochure.
That big of a difference between just a couple miles south? Is it really that much better than St. George?
Oh,
yeah. 45-minute drive, not even your 45-minute drive to St. George. I mean, even just half of that, it's a huge difference. Right after, I want to say, probably New Harmony, that's when you kind of start noticing the difference. And like, man, I should have gone further south.
So, I mean, you were down there and you had a taste of the warmth, and you still decided to move back up here north, huh?
Yeah, I realized, I love Cedar City. I love my time that I had at SUU. There's just so much of a small town I could take, growing up in the suburban life and being so close to Salt Lake. I couldn't last too much longer in a small town.
I think Nate and I are kind of in a similar boat. I lived in Ephraim. I went to Snow for
that's even smaller.
Yeah, very small. I mean, I knew already that I couldn't take a small town, but that is small. It's nice to kind of be away and just have a taste of what it's like.
Oh yeah. But, I mean, we definitely, I lucked out because I had roommates that kind of taught me how to make your own fun. I mean, we really made our own fun. I had one roommate who loved to go like to the junkyard and go, because he was a mechanic, and he would love to go grab and get just old cars or whatever, and then he would make things out of them. Like he took this old like 10, 12 passenger van, and then he put a hot tub in the back of it. He took off the roof, put a hot tub in it. And so we go hot tubbing every weekend. Or he'd take some beat up couch and then he would put it on skis, and then we'd go skiing like in the backyard because we live right in the foothills of Cedar City. And we'd just do that on a snow day. So we definitely made our own fun. And I'm appreciative of that, because if I didn't have at least that, I don't know how my experience would have been overall, being in such a small place.
Nate, you've never lived anywhere much smaller, have you? You've been in the suburbs for most of your life?
Yep. Been in Sandy and or West Jordan my whole life, except for the Mission, which I guess that's close to small town as you get. But you're not necessarily looking for fun activities to do when you're on the Mission.
No.
Maybe.
But I'm ready, like Josh said, I'm ready to move to St. George. Like, I would love to have a townhome in St. George and maybe live in a townhouse up here and just go back and forth and never have to really deal with the snow. And then if you, like Josh, you don't ski, but if you want to go skiing, you can still just drive a little bit and go skiing and then go home. So
have that option. No, there's, that's the one thing though, when you really think about it, the diversity of the state is just, it's outstanding, from going from, this wonderful skiing to some awesome, boating and Lake Powell and the warm weather and, and everything. There's such a contrast that, it's very easy for us Utahns, especially lifelong Utahns, to take that for granted.
Yeah, I think, and we talk about this all the time, a good thing about our podcast is it's gotten us out of our normal routine and got us to explore and do different things than we normally would have. I've only skied once, and it was when I was 12, a long time ago. But I don't know. Maybe that's something we need to
we got to do an episode then.
Got to do a skiing episode. And we haven't been to any of the national parks for it. I mean, I have been to some. I haven't been to all of them, but we have a lot.
I went to Zion National Park, and I just went at the worst time possible as a kid, right? I grew up with family in Southern California. So every summer we would drive down to Southern California and we'd go to Disneyland. So when we skipped that summer to go to Disneyland, we went to Zion National Park. And I was just at that age where I'm like, where's the fun in this? Like, this is so boring. Like, you mean we have to get out of the car and then walk to where we want to go? Like, is there like a people mover, anything? It's just I just being a 10-year-old kid who loved Disneyland and went every year, to have that first trip to Zion, I'm like, this is not for me.
We're kindred spirits, Josh. I'm in the same mind frame. The only time I was happy about a vacation outside of Disneyland was the summer we went to Preston, Idaho to see all the Napoleon Dynamite locations. That was a pretty cool trip. Other than that, I was not looking forward to the national parks, getting out hiking. I mean, it's great, but when you got comparing that to Disneyland, I mean,
well, and even like, I mean, Yellowstone, I mean, at least like Yellowstone, you felt like you were at least in a drive-through zoo, like our national parks don't get that. Like, you're probably lucky to like see a ground squirrel,
Right.
So, but as I've aged and as I've grown and as I've explored other places here in the state, it's just this really is such an awesome state, awesome location, and especially for people who love to come and play, which is something I've definitely have had to learn over the years, or wanted to learn, I should say, because there are so many things that the state offers for those that love that.
Yeah, there's a reason our state is exploding right now, right? The secret's out.
Oh yeah. No, it's don't move to Utah. Don't move to Utah. It's ugly.
We take it back. It sucks.
Don't listen to the
nothing
first
to do here.
All it does is snow, and it's brown snow. It looks ugly.
We should quantify. I think the two of you are being pretty down on the snow, and I think that has to do with the fact that we today have had our first big snowstorm. So maybe there's a little to that we're like, okay.
Did you just call it a big snowstorm?
It is for the.
How about this first? How about first snowstorm?
Okay, the first snowstorm.
Hey, it is a big snowstorm for all of those Californians that have moved here to the state over the past year. So,
they must all live by me, because I tried driving around in it, and everybody was acting like it was their first time.
Oh yeah, no, it was the same here. Same here in South Jordan. People forget how to drive, and they freak out because really it didn't stick much down here, but just enough to kind of wet the roads. And
make everyone nervous.
Yep, exactly. Especially those Californians.
But guys, the thing is, the snow, there's some good things about the snow. It means likely we're getting close to the Christmas season. And today we have Josh. I mean, it's been a long time coming. We've been trying to link up and get you on the podcast for a minute. But
yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, glad we finally found a time and a way we could get you here. And I heard you talk maybe a year or two ago about your love for what our chosen topic is today, which is the Candlelight Christmas at one of our somewhat namesakes. This is the place, Heritage Park. And they do a whole Christmas pioneer type Christmas down there.
Yep. Yeah. Gosh, I don't even know where to begin as far as like expressing how much I love the Candlelight Christmas. Been doing it pretty much since, as far as I can remember. I'm not even sure when exactly it started. I want to say it started in the late '90s when they did the major renovation around the around the the bicentennial. I could never tell the
One of
in
those
'97.
one of those marks.
One of the ennial celebrations. I never know. I'm not that cultured. But I think it was pretty much since they renovated that whole park that they brought this kind of unique. It's like a 2-3 week Christmas celebration where basically they transform. This is the place Monument Park with into like a Charles Dickens Christmas village, essentially. You're transformed back into the mid 1800s. Kind of gives you this taste of what it was like celebrating Christmas during the pioneer era. It just captures Christmas and the spirit of Christmas in a way that you can't find anywhere else in today's world and in society. And I just love it. And we've been doing it, like I said, pretty much every year since they've been doing it in the mid-late '90s.
I do wonder, do you prefer to go when there's snow on the ground or not snow?
Yes. I'm so hesitant. I'm so hesitant to say yes with the snow. And this is coming from, the funny thing is about my dislike for the snow is my middle name is actually Snow. But I'm quick to point out though that I'm not named after the element. I mean, I was born in the middle of August. It's a family name. I'm related to Lorenzo Snow, one of the the Mormon pioneers and presidents of the LDS Church, and so that's kind of where it comes from. But I'm like, of course, I would be the one in my family that was given the middle name Snow because I absolutely hate it.
But your one exception sounds like.
But my one exception. And it's mainly because you don't have to walk too far from the parking lot to the front gates, and then from one pioneer house or village or whatever to the other. So it's not that bad. Right. But it's you feel like you're just walking into this like Christmas painting, and with the decorations, the boughs and the holly, and they have carolers that go up and down the street, and it just, you feel like you are walking into this Christmas painting, and so obviously you need the snow.
With the Christmas Carol, it kind of created a new take on Christmas. It kind of transformed in a different way, and it's cool that they're able to capture that there at the park in such a. They do a really good job with it. Yeah. I went many years ago, and actually I think we signed up for it thinking it was going to be a play, and I don't know if they do this anymore, but at, I believe, the church, they had someone who looked like, actually kind of looked like a Mark Twain rather than a Charles Dickens guy. Yes. But he went through and he read the whole story. And it was long, but it was really good. And especially with what I was expecting, like a performance of it, him just reading it, it was very enjoyable.
And I think that's actually, I think, what really kind of hooked me in wanting to do this every year. Uh, the Charles Dickens reciting of a Christmas Carol uh, was something, because I don't know exactly how many years he did it, but I know that stopped. I don't know if he passed away, because I mean, back in the '90s he was pretty old. So who knows? But yeah, like I remember the reciting, and every year I look forward to that, because A Christmas Carol is my favorite Christmas story. It's and well, in fact, I'm kind of, I guess, outing myself as far as Christmas goes, but I can watch any rendition of A Christmas Carol any time of the year. I just because it's much more, in my opinion, than a Christmas show or a Christmas story. It happens to happen. It just happens to be around Christmas this all happens. But it's the redemption, it's the change of heart, it's all of that can happen. It can happen any time of the year, and I love that transformation of Ebenezer. And so having that story that I love so much, being a part of that, just really endeared me to the whole thing. And it's been kind of sad, because they don't do that anymore, and I wish that they would.
Well, small tangent. Have you seen Spirited yet?
No, I haven't. It is in the queue though. We had to. We had to. My wife and I, we're newlyweds, and so we both have lists of traditional Christmas movies that we have to watch every year, and so we're getting through those. But I've been told that I have to see Spirited, so
I have yet to see it. Nate's seen it, but it's on my list as well.
Yeah.
And do you recommend it then, Nate?
I told Brandon I don't think it's going to become a Christmas classic, but it's kind of reminds, maybe it will. Like, do you remember the movie Scrooged with Bill Murray?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like that, but more dancing and more singing.
Oh, boy.
100. A lot of dancing, a lot of singing. So, but I don't know. My wife rewatched it the other day, and so maybe it was better the second time through. But yeah, like I said, I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, and it will be a classic.
Hey, I thought you returned that. You're still borrowing that from me?
Yeah. Yeah, I quote unquote borrowed it from Brandon. Because you don't really borrow movies anymore, right? Because
just borrow
digital.
I know. We popped in a DVD of A Muppet Christmas Carol the other day, and like the first thing that pops up is like the warning about piracy, and piracy is a crime, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, who does that anymore?
Right. Yeah, everything's streaming.
I don't want a DVD.
Yeah.
That's more of a pain.
Redbox had their Black Friday. We're walking the store the other day. So it's Black Friday sale, $1 for Redbox. I'm like, I can't remember the last time I put in a DVD. I wonder if it even works.
I mean, yeah. Well, and especially with Redbox. I mean, when you have Netflix and when you have all of these other streaming services, like as convenient as Redbox made things when it first came out, it's the most inconvenient thing out there now, because who wants to leave their home at all?
Right.
And
I still get Redbox. I really do.
You're probably keeping them in business.
I probably do. I mean, it's been a while, but if there's a movie, I compare how much does it cost if I want to rent it now.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it for me to get the DVD? It's usually going to be cheaper for me to just run down to the Redbox and get the DVD. And we've got a DVD player pretty accessible, so it's not too much of a hassle. It's not as frequent, but there's probably at least maybe 3 to 4 times a year we get a Redbox. Sometimes more often than others, but
yeah. maybe once or twice a year now. I mean, it used to be every weekend.
But you
I
can
was at the
stream. You can
Redbox.
stream with Redbox too. They have a streaming option.
Yeah.
Oh, that I did not know.
They're staying relevant somehow. But I do want to go back to the Muppets Christmas Carol because I know you're partial to the Muppets.
Oh,
and I know that your co-host on in your running podcast, he is not a Muppet.
No, he is not. He is not, and it's so unfortunate because
they're classics.
The Muppets are the best. Granted, current Kermit right now, not the biggest fan. I don't know how they managed to make him sound like he has a frog in his throat, but they did. The Muppets just, I don't know what it is. That it could be nostalgia for me. I mean, growing up on pretty much any and every Muppet, movie out there. I mean, I can watch a Muppet movie anytime I'm feeling down and know that's going to turn my day around. But yeah, I don't know. Coach Blue just kind of threw a curveball at, when he told me that they freaked him out, and I'm not okay with that.
I hope he's listening, and I'd say I'm not
sure
okay
he
with it
is.
either.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll give him a pass. We'll give him a pass.
Yeah, we'll give him a pass. But yeah, the coolest thing, kind of staying on topic with Christmas, the coolest thing I think I've ever done. Well, okay, that's pretty broad, especially considering I just got married. But one of the coolest things I've ever experienced was Disneyland last year when I did Merriest Night, and they had the Muppets there caroling along Main Street USA.
That's pretty cool.
I was in heaven. I mean, that was so much. I mean, I'd never seen the Muppets in real life, and I won't lie, I probably shed a tear or two.
It's okay. It's the Muppets. You get a pass.
It's the Muppets. I mean, yeah, exactly. And I did cry, at my wedding, and so I do have my priorities still straight. So.
Well, I mean that's a great one. It's a classic movie. That one's a yearly one for me. But what do you think is the best, in your opinion, the best Christmas Carol rendition? Does that take the cake?
Honestly, yes. I can watch. I'm trying to think the 1953 one. I'm trying to remember. Which who plays Scrooge in that one. I love that one. The black and white one. That's classic. But A Muppet Christmas Carol, again, that's another movie I can watch any time of the year, and I usually do.
What do you think, Nate? You have a favorite?
I like it's short, the Disney one with.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, that one's the one I probably watched the most growing up.
I think Muppet's my favorite one, but I know I probably get some heat for this. I kind of like the.
Is it the Jim Carrey one?
Yeah, the Jim Carrey one.
Really?
I know people don't like that one, but I kind of like it.
He freaks me out.
Yeah, it's kind of animated, kind of real, kind of the Polar Express, one of the same lines.
Right.
I can't stand watching Scrooge and his mouth. There's something about the way they animated that drives me up the wall. And it could have been because I grew up in a household with my grandparents, and so I was used to kind of seeing a lot of that, the mannerism, the lip licking and everything. But yeah, that Charles Dickens, I mean, he just looks like he's on the verge of death.
Yeah, I get it.
I got a question then. You said you and your wife have your holiday movies. So what would be your top 3 holiday movies?
Ooh, well,
obviously Muppets.
Muppets. I White Christmas, which is
the original.
Yep, White Christmas with, and that's consensus between both of us. Ernest Saves Christmas
Yes.
is mine.
I almost turned that on yesterday.
I absolutely love that show. The Elf is another kind of yearly classic. And then the claymation. I don't know if you necessarily, I don't know if you necessarily like consider those movies, per se, but it's a tradition every year. Rudolph, Frosty,
Year Without Santa Claus.
Santa Claus is coming to town. And even some of the obscure ones like was the Rudolph New Year. Just I love, like, that's just my childhood. It's just it's a must. And then even just some of the most obscure, like I miss the 80s cartoon specials that they would have. I don't know if you remember, like Garfield had a Christmas special.
Yeah.
The Raccoons. I don't know if you ever watched that, and that might be, a bit before your time. I grew up on that. Just so many of the Pound Puppies.
Pound Puppies. Yes.
I love all of those, because every 80s cartoon, I just jumped on that same bandwagon of, well, they're doing it, we all need to do it. And so it's just fun. You just don't get that anymore. And it just Sesame Street, Christmas Eve on Sesame Street is another one that is a must. It's a long list, if you couldn't tell.
Hence why you haven't got to Spirited yet.
Nope. Yeah, I'll get there probably next week.
So will this be the first Christmas that you bring along your wife to the Candlelight Christmas? Has she been before with you?
She has not been before, and we were actually talking about that a couple days ago. And I was trying to explain to her, it's like, okay, so it's like old time Christmas. Like, but there's so much more to it, because they have so much there. They have, you don't have Santa, you have Father Christmas, which is there's a big difference there. And there's the live nativity that they have, which is probably one of my favorites. I'm kind of a nativity nerd. I love nativities during the Christmas season, and
all nativities are mostly live nativities.
What's that? Or any
like
nativity.
Do you collect nativities?
I've started to. I've actually even started a project that I kind of was hoping to finish this year, but when I got sidetracked with the whole marriage thing, I'm like, okay, maybe this is going to be a Christmas 2023 thing. But I'm working on a nativity that's kind of melding my love for nativities and Disneyland. So I've never really built anything like that. So it's me kind of forcing me to kind of learn some new things. Wood cutting, which absolutely scares me because I love all my fingers. But that project should probably be done next year. But yeah, any nativity, I just love them, because that, to me, that's Christmas. That's why we celebrate it, and it's just a great reminder of where we should put our priorities during the year.
Right. And that's what's cool about this whole thing they put on, is you still have that secular Christmas experience with the Christmas Carol Dickens type environment, but then they still have the, true meaning of Christmas type of thing going on with the nativities and that representation.
well, and they have the carolers. They have, they have like all these little crafts that kids can do. I'm pretty sure they've done this. We haven't gone since the pandemic, but they have a place where you can buy donuts. It's so much fun to go from those little locations. Whether you're going getting donuts or like learning how to make candles, learning having stories being told, coloring pictures and things like that. It is, those things are definitely tailored more toward smaller children, but honestly, I mean, there are so many other adults that get into it as well. That's not even a consideration, but but it's fun then to also go to the ZCMI mercantile store that they have there. You go
candy.
get you go get your hardtack candy, and then go on a horse-drawn carriage, and it's just,
they got a train too, I believe.
I think I don't know if they break that one out during the winter.
Oh, okay.
But I do know that they bring that out during at least Pioneer Day. But it's just the atmosphere is just, it really puts you in the frame of mind of the Christmas spirit. And I think for me, especially because Christmas means so much to not just me, but my entire family, it connects you to the past more. And it really, it really kind of takes you back into thinking a lot about your ancestors and your grandparents and everything. You're granted, none of them lived during the pioneer era, but there's that connection. That Christmas has been remembered and celebrated for hundreds, thousands of years, whatever. And it's just, I think that connection, especially in that location, just really ties that in. Yeah, I mean, I definitely miss Charles Dickens. They even used to do line dancing in the dance hall, which was a lot of fun, but I don't know why they stopped that. They stopped that even before the pandemic, but
sounds like they need to bring some of those things back.
They do. I think especially like the line dancing and stuff like that. We always had so much fun, learning a dance that definitely is not done on the regular anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's just a great experience for the whole family.
Nate, you said you feel like you remember going to this before?
Not really. I know JetBlue, and it might have been like late November. Might even been October, November. I know it was colder, but they rented out the park like after hours and did like a dinner and stuff like that. So I didn't get the full effect of it.
Okay.
But yeah, sounds like, talking about what Josh said earlier, like there's so many things to do in Utah, cool things to do, but it's like putting it on the schedule and actually doing it is another thing. So that sounds amazing. So I might be something we try out this holiday season if the snow goes away.
No, you want to go with the snow.
Oh, we want the snow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You love the snow for only one night. Only one night.
It's actually not that. I was expecting it to be a lot more expensive. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. If you've ever seen the Only in Your State articles, they always highlights things in Utah throughout the nation. That's not just a Utah thing, but in 2017 it used to be $5, so it is a little more expensive. Prices have gone up, but from their website, adults $9.95, $8.95 for seniors, $7.95 for children, and then between 3 and 11, and then children under 2 are free. So not terribly pricey. You know,
No,
if you have a big family, it can add up. But
right, it's cheaper than a movie ticket now.
I was just going to point that out. You know, it's not having gone to a movie theater in a few years and going a couple weeks ago, I was floored.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sticker shock for sure.
It made me feel so old because I definitely got stuck into that frame of mind of like, this world is not like it used to be.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Remember we used to get candy bars for $0.25?
Some hardtack candy at the ZCMI store for just a nickel.
Yes.
Penny candies.
I mean, there's no shortage of Christmas activities in Utah. I can't speak for other states, but I feel like we go all out for our holidays. We've got so much to do in the fall for Halloween, so much for Christmas. You really have to, even we've got a lot of things. We're doing this, the week after Thanksgiving, and this week at This Is the Place, before they have the Candlelight Christmas actually begin, they have the German market, the Christlindel, whatever it's called, Christlindel market. And then at the same time, you've got the Festival of Trees going on. There's a lot of stuff. And so you really have to plan out your time and your resources to do what you think is going to be important.
Well, and then even across the street, you have zoo lights going on. And I guess really what it boils down to is what kind of experience do you want to give your family or your kids at Christmas? There's no wrong answer, and is it going to the zoo lights? Is it going to the market? Is it going and doing something like this and transforming an evening back to the 1800s? Each of these celebrations, brings different. It brings different experiences and touches on different things that there's no wrong answer.
Right. Yeah, but to your point, I think this is a great way to spend, especially if you've got kids, maybe they're more focused on the presents and the cultural Christmas. Mm-hmm. This might be a good change of pace. Good way to look at the way they used to celebrate Christmas and how much more simple it was. Nate really has a big dream that someday This Is the Place can do a full immersion where you can go and stay there for a week. And
like Airbnb.
Like
how cool would that be?
Ooh.
The whole Pioneer experience.
And how cool would it be to have a whole Pioneer Christmas week,
I mean, it's not a bad idea. Well, and I was just going to say, like, the only thing I would be nervous about is, being somebody who does paranormal investigating. I don't know. There's some pretty scary stuff that's up there. This Is a Place Monument Park. So I don't know exactly what I would be seeing.
Don't want to stay in one of those places, is what you're saying.
I don't know if I want to.
I think people pay more for that experience.
Ups the value.
Sure. I will do the 30-minute drive home so I don't have to have that experience. Unless I'm staying up all night and I have my ghost hunting gear, but I think actually it'd be kind of fun to do a whole immersion thing.
You can even get frostbite, exposure, all that, the full experience.
Yeah, well, and you don't know if you're going to die from dysentery,
Right.
Who knows? If you don't go hunt your food, you're going to starve. Yeah, just do the whole Oregon Trail experience. There you go.
Agreed. This is a tangent as well. I might even just cut this out, but did you ever go to the haunted house they had at This Is the Place back in the day?
Oh, gosh.
It was only a couple years, maybe like 5, 6, 7 years that they did it. It wasn't long, but I will die on the hill that this is the best haunted house I've been to.
I'm trying to remember. I remember hearing about it. When was it? Do you know what year?
So I don't know when it started. I think it ended probably like 2014, 2015. And I went back in like 2011, maybe 2010
Okay.
was the last time I went. But it was, you throw in that the houses are actually haunted, which makes it
Oh
all the
yeah.
more scary.
See, and here's the thing, like when it comes to haunted houses, I I love I, I I love being scared. I think everybody does to some degree. The haunted houses that we have now, like the clowns and the blood and the gore, just don't do it for me. Like
Mm-mm.
it's oversaturated. You know it's fake, but it's the things that feel or look normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you chase me with an axe, or or accuse me of being a witch, whatever it is, right? Like that's scary. That's why I think, yeah, doing something that's era appropriate, or even like getting lost in the woods and having this fear that you're being chased by like bears or something, right? That would scare me so much more than just a stupid clown coming out with a like oversized butcher knife.
Yeah. I think the idea it gives me is maybe they should bring that back a little bit for the
Hmm.
Christmas time and fully embrace the whole Christmas Carol being a ghost story.
Oh, well, and that's one thing that I was just going to bring up is one of the old time traditions of Christmas, especially back in the era that they're trying to represent. People told ghost stories around Christmas.
It's in the
Like
song.
that was a thing. Yeah, it's even in the song. And so yeah, like why not? Like just embrace it. Let's tell some ghost stories during Christmas.
I mean, if they don't bring back the guy reading the book, that's fine. But if they bring the three spirits, especially that really creepy one at the end,
Oh
the
my
death
gosh.
creature, I mean, come
Yeah.
on. That just screams Christmas. Literally
Well,
screams Christmas.
oh yeah. It's so funny though, because I've had conversations with friends and with other people about this. Like, no, Christmas is not about ghost stories. I'm like, what's Scrooge about? What's the Christmas Carol about? Like, there's precedence here. I think that'd be awesome. I'm for it.
All right, this is the place.
I'll write a petition.
We've given ideas to haunted houses before. We've given ideas to other places. People listen to us. Maybe not so many actual listeners, but the businesses listen, and we have good ideas. So reach out to Nate or myself, and we will be signed on as consultants.
There you go. I think that's great. More ghost stories now.
More ghost stories. I'll play the spirit, okay? If you're gonna force me to do it,
I mean, I can get on stage and go.
Nate, you have a very Christmas present vibe, I must say.
The the fat ghost.
Not that portion of it. More just like the jolly, happy, you know?
Yeah.
This is a compliment. This isn't me calling you
Oh,
fat.
okay. Like I said. Well, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. What else should we know about it? Anything else about This Is the Place that you think people should know if they're checking it out this year?
I think just go into it with really, I mean, I don't want to say necessarily no expectations, but just go in with it knowing that you're going to have a different experience than pretty much anywhere else that you're going to go for a Christmas family experience. And just embrace it.
How does Clark say it, Nate? A good old fashioned family Christmas?
Good old fashioned. I don't know. I just saw it yesterday at the theater.
Come on. Come on. That's what you're getting with Candlelight Christmas. It starts, I believe, on the 6th of December.
Actually, it looks like the 23rd.
I think in years past it has, but this year it actually goes from December 6th to the 23rd, Monday through Saturday. So fit it
Yep.
in amongst your Christmas movie lists, your
Yep.
pictures with Santa Claus. Set some time aside for a good old fashioned family Christmas. 1800 Christmas.
With some ghost stories next year because we're going to bring them back.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Josh, thanks so much for being on and talking with us. I think we need to do more of this. When I contacted you the first time, you had a lot of great ideas. Like
Oh,
you said,
dude,
you
yeah.
love Utah and you love the old school stuff, which is what we're all
Yeah.
about here.
I mean, I could talk your ear off about Utah, about gosh, I mean, like sports. I grew up probably the biggest Utah Jazz fan, and yeah, that's a fat joke. I ever since I was a kid, I was obsessed with that, and there's a lot of great history that is just right in front of us that's so much fun to nerd out about. So I would love to be back. I would love to talk about whatever you want to talk about with the state, and maybe between now and then, maybe I'll go try to put a ski on my feet.
Maybe we can do it together because
that'd
I've
be
done
fun.
it once, but it's been quite a few
Well,
years.
if that's the case, then I think what we'll have to do, I have a YouTube channel, Rebel One.
There we
I
go.
think we may have to break out the cameras and film that because, I mean, if it doesn't go viral, it could easily get onto America's Funniest Home Videos. So
Yeah, one of the church leaders quite a few years ago gave a talk about him skiing, and it was kind of like that whole I'd fallen and couldn't get up. That's probably what you're going to get a lot of if this actually comes to happen.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Nate will
yeah.
probably smoke us all in the mountain, but me and Josh will be stuck.
We'll be on the bunny hills.
Sometimes they're the hardest hills to go, the bunny ones, but depends on which resort you go to.
The hardest?
Oh, boy. I know the Snowbird Bunny Hill is really not a bunny hill compared to Brighton's a good one to go to, in my opinion.
We could even go to the West Ridge Golf Course, and I think those are pretty good bunny hills to start off on.
Okay, I mean,
have to walk.
I mean, you could start me off in my front yard. That's probably where I need to start.
I'm in the same boat.
And I don't have a front yard. I have a townhome. So, but no, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun.
And you mentioned him. You plugged check out his podcast, The Party in the Back.
Yep, Party in the Back. Rebel One on YouTube, and then there's a future project that still working on, but that will be coming out probably early January. So I'll just leave it at that.
Some good things to watch for from our buddy Josh here, and we're probably gonna have to have Blue on to come and defend his Muppets.
Yes. Yeah, no, he would be great. He's had some pretty awesome fun adventures here in the state that I'll have to let him tell you guys. But yeah, you'll definitely have to have him on. So
thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
See you next week.